Hi everyone, how are you doing today? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I am so excited to bring you the first update for my Pan in Every Palette project. If you've been following along on Instagram, this will be old news for you, but I feel like I have been making really good progress in this. Despite my worst expectations, I expected to be working on one palette for quite some time, and yet I do have some Pan to share. I'm so excited. So if you happen to miss my intro video, I will link that down below, but to sum up, I have selected my 5 oldest palettes. I randomly generate which one I'm going to work on next, and then when I hit pan on a shade in that palette, I use the random generator again to roll for my next palette. So last time I randomly drew to work on my Subculture palette first. So I'm going to insert a picture here of the shade Cube, which is how it looked when I started working on it at the beginning of last month. And this is how it looks now. So there's the dinky little pan there. It might be kind of hard to see in the light. There you go. Now you can see it. So I did have some usage on that pan before I started this project, but not really a whole lot. The thing with that shade was I had to use quite a bit of it to make it look how I wanted. So in combination with how soft it is, how much I was using, it only took 12 uses to hit pan. And in this project, I only used it, I have a little sticky note here, 9 times in this project. So 3 times before that I had used it. So only 12 times to hit pan on Cube, which I thought was both surprising and not surprising. People have said before how easy that shade is to hit pan on, but I didn't really expect it to be easy for me. Just because I'm not usually heavy-handed with eyeshadow, but I kind of was with this shade to make it look how I wanted. I'm going to insert a look somewhere, maybe over here, of how I generally wore it with the shadows in my Dude You Pan My Battleship project. I combined them and I was really happy with how they looked together. So that's the look I generally did until I hit pan on this. The only other shadows I used from this palette while I was working on it were these 3 right here. I did a look with Fudge, New Wave, and Adorn. It is really beautiful, warm toned look. I'll make sure and put that up as well. I really like that look from this palette. And next time that I work on this palette, that might be the one I work on next, but you know, we'll see how I'm feeling at the time. But I'm so happy to have a pan in my Subculture palette. Since that happened so quickly, I did randomly roll for my next one. I did record my screen, so I'm going to put it up here, how that looked. So the palette that was chosen next was my Cargo Cosmetics palette. I'm going to put up a picture of how it looked when I started. And this is how it looks now. Check it out. I have a pan in the shade Ginza. Now this is my oldest palette, so that shade had, I think, 18, I'm looking at my little notes here, yeah, 18 uses on it before I put it in this project, and it only took 8 more uses to hit pan, so a total of 26 uses to hit pan on that shade. And I had no idea how deep the pans were in these Cargo palettes, so I was really pleased to see that it's not that deep. So it gives me hope for panning other shades in this palette. This is a shade also that went really well with the cool tone shadows I'm panning in my Pan My Battleship project. Even though that's not really a cool tone shadow, it went really well with either warm or cool toned looks. I didn't manage to get a picture, I'm sorry. But I just wore that basically as my everyday lid shade in combination with those other shades, and before I knew it, that happened. So I just can't believe it that I have 2 pans to share, and that I now have a couple palettes with a pan. It's so exciting to me. I'm loving it. I can see why creators love to do this project. It is so much fun to have pan in your shadows. Okay, so now comes the fun part. Once again, I'll be between my Morphe Bling Boss Jaclyn Hill palette, my Master palette by Mario, and my e.l.f. palette. So I'm gonna randomly generate a number 1 through 3. I'm using random.org 1 through 3. Let's see what happens. 1! That means the next palette I'll be working on is this Morphe palette. So I think I've stated before the shades that I really like in this palette. I really like the matte Hush Hush as a beautiful crease shade. I am, however, working on a really similar crease shade already in my Pan My Battleship project, so I'm probably not going to reach for this one, but I just want to quick show you how this one looks. I think it is such a, see that, like the beautiful cool tone, kind of mauve-y undertone of that shade. It's really nice as a crease shade. But since I'm working on that other one, I probably won't work on that one. So let's see, maybe Bling Bling. That's just like a very light pink. Another one, perhaps maybe Glitz and Glam. Same type of thing, a light pink, but it's just not quite as light. But I also really like this shade down here called Ballsy. It is a really fun, kind of like a cool lilac, but with golden flecks in it. Ooh, that's a fun one. I think it'll be between these two. I'm really excited. I do really enjoy those shades. I realized just now that I forgot to say who created this project. This project was created by Lady Pansalot on Instagram. I will be linking her down below, and there is a hashtag being used you can check out to find other creators as well who are doing this on both Instagram and on YouTube. I have to give a shout out to Paula from A Beauty Guru Made Me Do It. She's the one who I first saw doing this project, and I felt really motivated to follow along, and she's still doing this project. So definitely check out her channel as well if you're interested in this type of content. Thank you guys so much for following along with this. I have been really enjoying myself. We'll see if I can keep the momentum going this year and really hit a lot of pans. I hope so. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Thank you for your time today. I'll see you soon in my next video. Bye!